सारे आगे खड़े हो गए। नहीं लगा दो।
Through the conference desk, I, Arundhati Goyal, Adya Saxena, welcome you all to the celebration of our school. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. School is the epicenter of virtues, wisdom, experimentation, derivations of dynamism of life, and the center of culmination of our dreams and realities. This is the place that harmonizes education and life. So one can understand what impression does the annual day hold for the entire school fraternity. It is indeed exhilarating to have you all with us today, and we feel deeply indebted to you. Your presence has added more meaning to the occasion and has made it special. We are privileged to have with us our chief guest, Mr. V.K. Shundri, former Comptroller and Auditor General of India from 1996 to 2002. We request our much revered Chairman, Rear Admiral M.M. Chopra, to present a bouquet to him. He presently heads the DPS family as Chairman of the DPS Society. Sir, we welcome you with flowers for so graciously consenting to be with us this evening and bless all the achievements. We also welcome Madam Shundri. May we now request our principal, Mr. Anil Kumar, to present flowers to our presiding guest, Rear Admiral M.M. Chopra. Sir is the Vice Chairman of DPS Society and the Chairman of the Managing Committee of DPS Faridabad. We floral welcome to principals from various reputed schools. We also extend a hearty welcome to our PTA members, parents, and grandparents. Thank you, everyone. No buddhi bhedam, janayet ajnana, karma sangena, joshayet sarva karmani, vidvana yukta samaj. A wise man who has established union with God while performing his duties should not create doubts in the minds of the ignorant, but he should get them to perform all their duties, duly performing them himself. With this thought-provoking slok, let's endeavor to perform our best and try to dispel darkness. So let's light a lamp in the name of God and give this evening an auspicious beginning. May I now request our principal, Mr. Anil Kumar, to escort the guests towards the ceremonial lamp. दीप ज्योति जनार्दना दीपों में हर तुम्हें आपः दीप देव नमोस्तुते दीप देव नमोस्तुते दीप देव नमोस्तुते Thank you, everyone. We now present the school choir.
सर पीछे यार कुछ भी नहीं आएगा और हेलो जब आगे खड़े रहोगे तो क्या होगा चलाने का या रोड निकल जाएगा बैठ जाओ यार उधर जाओ पीछे कर थोड़ा उधर जाओ रोड पीछे कर एक और ले ले ये बैठ जाओ चले जाओ रे दो
मेरे बोलो न्यारे तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं हमरे उलझन सुलझाओ भगवन तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं पालन हरिया तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवंता तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं तुम्हे हमका सवाले तुम्हे हमरे रखवाले तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं तुम्हे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं चंदा में
या
तुम्हें तो भरे हो चांदनी चांदनी सूरज में उजाला
क्या गा रहा है
चंदा में तुम्हें तो भरे हो चांदनी सूरज में उजाला तुम्हीं से ये गगन है बादल तुम्हीं तो जिए मोरी सितारे भगवान ये जीवन तुम्हीं का संवारोगे तो क्या कोई सवाले वो पालन हारेगा बिल्कुल और जाएगा तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवंता तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं प्रभु जी हमारी है मिट्टी दुखी जन को धीरज तुम्हारी नहीं हो कभी तुमसे निर्बल को रक्षा दो रह पाए निर्बल तुमसे भक्ति को शक्ति दो भक्ति को शक्ति दो जगी दो स्वामी को इतनी दो अर्ज सुनो प्रेम में रसियाने देखो वरदान में उजियारे पालन हारेगा बिल्कुल और जाएगा हमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवंता तुमरे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं तुम्हारे बिन हमरा
अच्छा कैसे हो
Our respected chairman, Rear Admiral M.M. Chopra, is a living inspiration for all associated with the DPS society. We feel immensely blessed that he is the chairman of our school. His mere presence lights up enthusiasm in our hearts to excel in all we do. His passion for work at this age is infectious. Sir, we feel indebted to have you with us today and may we request you to take over the elder of the home to welcome our esteemed guests and preside over the function.
अच्छा सीखेंगे बन है
their parents.
बंद कर दो चालू कर दो यार
Parents, very good evening to you all. I was telling the principal that I was not all that fit to come this evening, but I was determined to come only to share with you some very unique and very special features of today's gathering. First and foremost, this is the first time that my very dear friend, my very esteemed chairman, and his very gracious lady, Madhu, obliged us by condescending to grace today's function. He has been in office for 3 years. On a number of occasions, he hinted at me, how is Faridabad school, of which he appointed me as the chairman of the managing committee. Instead of saying, why don't you come and visit it yourself, I was a bit reluctant, a bit resistant to his coming. Until I waited to date. His term finished, and I don't know whether I should say it's the end of the term we found time to come, or else break the news to you, which some of you may not know. On completion of the first term of 3 years as the chairman of TPS Society, he has been elected unopposed for the second term, and therefore I am not condescending today to say it is the first term but I have decided to call it the first term, perhaps the last term of the last tenure. But this will set the agenda for the next 3 years. And because of his election, unopposed unanimously by all and every member of the DPS society, people like me who are in the bandwagon also got elected without any election. That speaks volume of the leadership, of the human qualities of my very, very dear friend and my very dear chairman, Mr. Vijay Krishna. Thank you, sir, for obliging us, along with your very, very charming lady, to be with us this evening. I shall be failing in my duty if I didn't mention why I was reluctant to invite him to this school during his entire term of 3 years. Very unfortunately, this school came under some eclipse, partly due to our own making, partly due to some other beyond control circumstances. So things became a bit topsy-turvy, not deserving of calling a noble person like Vijay Shuglu to come here until we sorted out that topsy-turvy atmosphere. To start with, sir, you are unhesitating, most liberal in giving us the money to carry out repairs so as to bring the dilapidated structure with its surroundings to a presentable configuration, a presentable phase. And we have completed that phase, sir. And when I was walking with you, you told me the floors look clean, everything looks very shining, and I was reminded how wise I must have been not to invite you before. Secondly, sir, there were some organizational difficulties. Without going into them, if something we have been able to achieve during the last 3 years, it is total discipline, transparency, and honesty in our dealing with people, dealing with our money, dealing with the students, and everything. This school became notorious for litigation. Today, we don't have any single case pending. The third one was, whilst we are repairing the house and making it presentable to a distinguished man like you, we wanted to also mention to you that we have fulfilled your personal initiative, which none of us in the society was even familiar, and that is a definite, a determined step towards conservation of energy and the installation of solar energy. When you ask the principal in the sitting room how much of energy is created. Without going into very detailed statistics, he said half our consumption. And if something means to anybody about it, one, a regular supply, two, economy of 50% of the expenditure in our consumption of energy. We are well on the way to complete the project. Lastly, sir, we are very proud to tell you and tell all the audience, we are perhaps the first school, not only in the family of Delhi public schools, which boasts of over 200 children called schools or constituent schools, perhaps in India, where we have succeeded in the installation of complete digitalization. From buying books from the vendors, to collection of fees, to payments, to bank accounts, we can today hand over to you the financial statements of up to this morning on the click of a button. Son, we are most grateful to you for bearing with us, for showing your patience, tolerance, and waiting rather than breathing down our throat why everything has gone wrong with the school. The credit of this must go to my principal, Mr. Anil Kumar, who was one of the first teachers to be recruited from this school in 1995. We started with 400 children. Today commands 4,400 children, and he's risen from an ordinary teacher to the principal. Sir, Mr. Principal, you deserve our wholehearted appreciation, our admiration, and our gratitude that you, while carrying out the repairs, made sure that the advancement proceeds apace. And we are here a witness to that. God bless you, sir. May I therefore, for two occasions, a successful completion of the tenure of my chairman, so much successful that everybody volunteered and persisted that, sir, you must continue despite your preoccupation with lots of ward bodies and ward organizations. And he accepted it. And the second is the commencement of the new tenure. May I request all the parents, along with the families, to stand up and in the usual traditional way of clapping, please not only welcome my chairman, but show his appreciation that his performance, his care for the schools, care for the parents and the school and children speaks for itself, and it needs no further elaboration, leave aside introduction. Please. Mr. Principal, your organizers of this function have selected a theme which was never so appropriate in the history of India, or for that matter, in the history of the world as today. And this theme you have picked up from the sacred book of Bhagavad Gita is a part of Bhagavad Puran 25 to 42. When I think of the word Bhagavad Gita, I won't go into details except to share with you something which was spoken by a great nationalist, a great Indian, a great scholar, Swami Vivekananda, on 18 September 1893, on the occasion of meeting of the Parliament of Religions, all of Chicago Assembly. And I have yet to come across a more beautiful, a more rhythmic, a more capsule, two paragraphs of English literature in all my life. And I thought, permit me to share those two small paragraphs, which would explain in the minutest detail what is there in the great magnus opus called the Bhagavad Gita. He said, when he finished his speech, during which he had talked 6 times about Bhagavad Gita, being the central theme of Vedanta, one backbencher stood up, said, "Sir, you have very extensively talked about Bhagavad Gita. What is so unique? What is so big about it? That became the central theme of your address this evening, which by any standard was the most profound and the best we have heard so far." This is what Swami Vivekananda, who at that time was known merely by his name Narendra Dutt, said. The Bhagavad Gita is a piece of art of strange beauty, standing apart in its own class. It is liquid poetry expounding solid philosophy. In the meter of its flow, it crystallizes some of the rarest gems of moral and spiritual values. Its fluidity falls like a drop of merciful rain on a broken personality, making it whole by its magic touch. Bhagavad Gita is not a book of science, but it is most scientific in approach to its theme. It's neither a book of philosophy, yet most of the philosophies known to us are included in the wide ambit of its theme. The last words which triggered off by sharing this first paragraph was actually short and sweet. The second paragraph, which applies to my school, which applies to all of us. Before that, reading the second paragraph, let me tell you, the deadline of the Industrial Revolution in Europe was 1761. by 1893, the entire science and technology had been developed and converted into commercial domestic application. Americans were only proud of achieving the science and development, science and technology. Therefore, this is what he said in the second paragraph. The duty of science is to describe natural products and processes. It's the duty of philosophy to attempt their explanations. Viewed thus, Bhagavad Gita is neither a scientific philosophy nor a philosophical science. But his last line is more profound, and that is, but in the course of its 18 chapters, Bhagavad Gita explains the science of life and the philosophy of life. But more than that, it expounds and demonstrates the art of living. I think very seldom I heard any description of Bhagavad Gita, and today the organizers have picked up, selected. I don't know Hindi, I don't know Sanskrit, but I know Urdu and Persian and Arabic. This means that God is formless, and Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in the 4th chapter that I'm born again and again and again. So therefore, let me say that in Urdu, just a minute more I'll take. The 4th chapter starts by Lord Krishna telling him, ये योग जिसको नहीं है सुना, विवासन को मैंने पहले दिया, मनु ने लिया इसको विश्वास से, मनु ने दिया इसको विश्वास को. Arjun says, how come you are there that time and now also you are here? The answer, सुन अर्जुन हुए हैं यहाँ बार बार, तुम्हारे हमारे जन्म बेशुमार, मुझे उन सब का हाल मालूम है, तेरा हाफिजा तुमसे मालूम है. And the last one is, when he asked him, how do I know you are the same man who's born again and again? And pray tell me, when do you decide to be born? And how do you decide to be born? He says in the 5th stanza of the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that Sridhar, I'm born again and again and again. 3, and then he says, but when do you decide? And that is in the Sanskrit translation, Yada yada hi dharmasya yalani bhavate bharta aduthanam adharmasya tada tamanam suchita. But more beautiful is the Urdu version, the nazal in decline. The nazal पे जिस वक्त आता है धर्म, अधर्म आके करता है बाजार गर्म. ये अंधेर जब देख पाता हूँ मैं, तो इंसान की सूरत में आता हूँ. घरों को बुरों से बचाता हूँ मैं, बुरों को जहां से मिटाता हूँ मैं, धर्म की जड़ें फिर जगाता हूँ मैं. Therefore, I am very glad, Anil, your team has selected this because before I conclude, my dear parents, I leave you with a thought process. In the developing world, now we are passing through the century of information technology. We have left the science and technology century behind us. And learning from the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, all I have been emphasizing on my teachers, which are the guardians of your children in my school, for heaven's sake, inculcate a scientific temperament in your children, a philosophical mind, and a trust in yourself, trust in God, and trust in parents, and trust in school. It's a synthesis of scientific temper, philosophical mind, and trust which will enable your child to grow up to be a wholesome adult so that he can, if not eliminate the conflicts in the world, sure enough, he could minimize them and allow other people also to live a life conflict-free. My dear parents, I've taken a little longer time because I had to catch up with the deficiency of my chairman not being here for the last 3 years. I used this occasion to brief him what all we've been doing and what we all need to do and our agenda. In fact, it is your support, parents, that you trust in us with your children, that we are able to move forward, and we are determined to move forward. And DPS Faridabad shall be a school, a role model, and some institution to talk about in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Delhi Public School Faridabad successfully installed the solar voltaic plant. It is an initiative of the DPS Society pioneered by visionaries like our much revered Mr. V.K. Shuglu and Rear Admiral M.M. Chopra. May we now request the Chairman and the Vice Chairman DPS Society to inaugurate the system and dedicate it to the nation. Solar voltaic plant generates energy directly from sunlight via an electronic process. May we now request our principal, Mr. Anil Kumar, to the annual school report.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your children are there at the back. We can't hear you.
Good evening.
Our children are at the back.
Good evening, sir.
Honorable Chairman of the Delhi Public School Society, Mr. V.K. Shungi, and Madam Shungi. What Sir has just now said, nothing remains thereafter to be repeated or said again, because come what may, with the best of my effort, even if I try, I will not be able to extend such a hearty welcome what Sir has already. I can only request each one of you to have a round of applause for the entire gathering and for the children who are at the back. I'll just speak one Sanskrit shlok, and after that we will have a display of the school report, quick, within 3 to 4 minutes. And just one liner once that slide is finished. It is what Sir has said just now about the school, about the teachers, about the children, about me. Sir, with the permission, I will just simply say, Abhivadan Shilasya, Nitya Vrdo Api Sevine, Chatvari Tasya Vardhante, Ayur Vidya Yasho. My dear parents, colleagues, members of the faculty, अभिवादन शीलस से जो व्यक्ति मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेनेशन से चाहूंगा कि हो सकता है you may not be able to know the Sanskrit completely. If you know it, fine. You correct me if I'm wrong. अभिवादन शीलस से जो व्यक्ति विनम्र तरीके से अपने बड़ों का अभिवादन करता है, उसमें पहली श्रेणी में माता पिता, दूसरी श्रेणी में गुरु और तीसरी श्रेणी में जो भी कोई भी व्यक्ति आपसे उम्र में अगर बड़ा है, उसकी अगर आप झुककर विनम्रता से आशीर्वाद देते हैं, अभिवादन शील से नृत्य वृद्धो अपनी सेवी में, तो ये काम सिर्फ डेली ये काम करे, उसकी 4 चीजें बिना कहे बढ़ जाए। आयुर, विद्या, यशो, बल। Ayu, you can very well make out. Vidya, you can very well make out, is an institution which requires the blessings of all elders like what we have today. And Yash, fame, what Sir is talking about, is definitely going to be leaps and bounds by another factor in the times to come. Ayu, Vidya, Yasho, Bal, और शक्ति भी साथ के साथ, उस आशीर्वाद के साथ आ जाए। So we are blessed as an institution, sir. I am blessed as a principal. I am blessed as an individual with the presence of all my elders here. And make sure that I live with these words which I have spoken, so that this institution can grow stages ahead, much ahead than what we have already achieved. A quick glance of it, you can see it by way of presentation. Ashish, are you ready? Start. Dear parents, this is all yours too. And imagine, one good thing about the entire presentation is that if I start listing right from a nursery kid who enters the school to the one who is outgoing class 12, it's going to be more than days. And their achievements within themselves are so high and so great that they need to be recognized, and we keep doing that on the different occasions. But today I wish to mention only two specific achievements from this platform